Welcome you to this lesson. This is social studies for grade 6, and we are learning about factors affecting our culture. Last time we talked about culture and we stated the elements of culture as you learned in grade 5. In grade 5, you listed the following as the elements of culture. 1, the staple food. 2, the dressing code. 3, we have the traditions, we have the religion, and we have the customs. But in grade 6, we learned that all the aspects of culture are categorized into 2 major groups, and these are 1, the traditions, where we have the elements of culture that can never change. These are the elements of culture that have existed for over ages. For example, the language, for example, the arts, and for example, the staple foods. On the other hand, we talked about the second group, which is the customs. These are the elements of culture which can change at any given time. For example, we talked about the dressing code, right? We talked about the greetings, right? The greeting styles of different societies. Now, we say customs are also referred to as the norms of conduct. The norms of conduct. Now today, we are talking about the factors affecting our culture. Factors affecting our culture. Now, different communities have got different ways of doing their things. So we find that the factors affecting culture differ from one community to the other. But we have common factors that affect culture in different communities. Common factors. One of the common factors is education. The second one is modernization. The third one, inter-societal relationships. Inter-relationships, that is the third one. And then the last one, we have what is known as social media and communication. Social media and communication. Good. Now the first one, education. How does education affect our culture? Education changes the minds of people concerning their own culture. So, colonial education, as you remember, made the African people to think very negatively about their culture. So, when someone is educated, right? When someone is educated, they tend to copy the norms of conduct of the white man, right? Because the education that we are undergoing is a Western type of education. Now, with education, Africans behave like Europeans. They copy their language, they copy their dressing code, they copy other norms of conduct. So, education is one factor that really affects our culture. By the time we are copying somebody's culture or the Western culture, we are forgetting about our own culture. Hence, our culture is totally affected. Next, we have inter-communal or societal relations. This is the relationship by marriage, between two communities. So interrelationship affects the weaker culture. If an African is married by a white man, so you'll find that it is very difficult for the white man to copy the African culture, right? And you'll find that the African will find it very easy to adopt the Western culture. So by doing this, the African will forget about his or her real culture. So we find that the weaker culture in this case will be forgotten, right? The weaker culture will be affected. So in interrelationship between two communities or two societies, we find that the weaker culture will be so very affected. So in this case, you'll find the weaker culture will copy the dressing code, the weaker culture will copy the language, the weaker culture will copy other norms of conduct of the stronger culture. So interrelationships affects our culture. Good. On the same way, or on the same note, we remember the Arabs who came and settled along the coast, that is during the pre-colonial period, right? There was intermarriage between these two communities, the Arabs and the Africans. And so we find that the system of worship was totally changed along the coastal line. So the system of worship of the people along the coast was changed, was really affected. And so we say that interrelationship affects the culture. People adopted the culture of the Arabs and forgot about the African culture. The next is modernization. Modernization comes in the name of civilization. This makes many people to drop their culture, right, and copy the culture of the new people who are coming in. In this case, we have the Europeans or the white men. So with modernization, we find the Africans forget their culture and they start practicing the culture that does not belong to them. Social media and communication is the last one. This has brought something which is known as globalization. Globalization has made the world to be like a very small village where you can access information from a far place within a very short time. So during this, people use, right, the social media platform like the Facebook, we have the WhatsApp, we have the Google, we have the YouTube to access information from different places. And by the time they are doing this, right, they tend to copy both the good and the bad cultures that they learn from these social media platforms. They copy both the bad and the good cultures that they learn from these social media platforms. And this affects our culture because during some time you'll find that the dressing mode has changed. The way we greet our elders has changed. Now we don't greet while kneeling, totally kneeling, but you just greet the way you want. That is, our culture has totally been affected. So, social media and communication is one of the factors that affect our culture. Boys and girls, we have learned factors affecting our culture. One of the factors that we have said or we have learned that affect our culture is education, we have modernization, we have inter-societal relationships, we have social media and communication, right? Boys and girls, that marks the end of our lesson.